Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and narrate mysterious and weird true stories. Tonight's first case, case file number 3, written by user Harmoniouslightbeam, is related to butter. Evidently, a stick of it appeared from nowhere at all. Case file number 3. Guys, help me out here. Something happened yesterday and it's really bothering me because there doesn't seem to be any rational explanation or reason for it. Yesterday, I arrived home with my arms full of stuff from my car. I make my way to the kitchen area, dump everything on the kitchen table, turn the light on, glance in. Everything is normal, and turn around to start grabbing stuff to put away. When I turn back around, my dog is going at a large brick of butter right near the fridge, and this is where it gets weird. For one thing, when I looked in the kitchen, there was nothing amiss at all. I also don't know if the dog is part of this glitch or just the butter, and then she saw it and ran in to take advantage of this situation. For another, there was no wrapper on or near the butter, which, if it had fallen from the fridge, that's not how I would have stored it. Another, when I went to put the butter in the trash, when I picked it up, it was soft, not hard like it should have been if it had fallen from the fridge. Until this point, I had fully convinced myself that I myself, despite not being hungry or thirsty and not having a need to open the fridge, had opened it anyway and just not noticed this butter had fallen out. Or maybe before I left, I'd done it and this is why it was soft. But even at this, I was still slightly incredulous. But it was still a somewhat acceptable explanation. Until I really did open the fridge to find that there was no butter missing at all. The butter I thought was on the floor was in the door, in its wrapper, right where it was supposed to be. I had used the other half last week to make chocolate chip cookies, and there were another 2 sticks in a box in the drawer too. No missing butter. So this is where I start kinda wigging out. Where the hell did this butter come from? I'm kinda mad actually that I can't figure it out. I feel like this stuff is happening to me more frequently. There was another instance a few months back in which a guy fully disappeared, and that doesn't make sense either. But this is just straining the limits of what I find myself able to explain away. I'm either leveling up or losing my damn mind. I don't know what I'm looking for here, but if you could either find an explanation I can swallow or tell me something similar happened to you, or even some alternate reality explanation, I mean, anything at this point would help, because I feel like I'm losing it. Thanks in advance. Personal notes. Yeah, so a while back there was another case file about salmon just appearing in someone's fridge when it wasn't possible or made any sense for it to have been there. And now it's butter falling down from the fridge, apparently. Well, we know at this point, at least I believe so, that people can cross over between alternate realities. That's common. Usually the catalyst is death, which is a bit morbid, but not really because we live on in other forms of ourselves from those other realities. But there are instances also of people just crossing over, usually temporarily, even though they didn't die. So if their entire bodies can cross over, why couldn't physical objects? Really, to me, it doesn't seem like a stretch all that much. What bothers me is not having any clear explanation as to how this is happening, or what triggers it to begin with. It just seems random. Some people just glimpse over, not even crossing. Others physically cross over without dying, and then some people have objects seemingly fall into the reality. Or perhaps ours are lost. Could explain case file number 1. Tonight's second case. The 4th case file to date, written by user ConsciousDiver77. Features a case of seemingly instantaneous regeneration. Case file number 4. I regard this experience as very surreal. Even thinking about it today seems unreal. I was totally sober and don't do drugs. Even more crazy how I experienced such an undeniable reality shift with clear witnesses. I was over at my parents' house helping my father rescreen all the windows in the house. A lengthy process that involves removing the old screen material, measuring out the new material from a large roll, putting the screen material in the frame, then cutting off all excess screen material. It was during this process of cutting off the excess screen material that suddenly the X-Acto knife slipped and sliced my thumb open, about an inch long with a clear red line visible. I clearly saw this. My father, standing right beside me, clearly saw it too. My mother saw it as well, but was further away. Upon seeing this, my father exclaimed, "Are you okay?" And immediately, for some reason, I quickly shrugged it off saying, "Oh, it's nothing." After a few seconds, my senses kicked in and figured I should go get a band-aid as to not get blood onto the new screen material. I go to check my thumb, and nothing. There's no cut, there's no line, no redness, nothing. I squeezed my thumb thinking that maybe it would show up under pressure. Completely smooth, unbroken skin. "You saw that, right? You saw me slice my thumb?" I asked. "Yeah," my father said. "Well, it's gone, look," I said as I held up my thumb. Needless to say, both me and my father were puzzled. Stupidly, I checked the other thumb thinking that maybe I somehow confused which one I'd sliced open. But of course, I knew it wasn't the other thumb, which of course was normal. Immediately, a strange sensation washed over me, sort of like that sense of violation you sense when you get the feeling of being watched, like I had witnessed something I wasn't supposed to. I also experienced a strange sense of disconnection, like the present moment felt just very surreal. Personal notes. When you sliced open your thumb, did you feel it happen? I know X-Acto knives are extremely sharp, but you'd still feel it happening, right? Not one of those instances where you cut yourself without even realizing it until much later. I saw a comment on here how the body can heal perfect cuts extremely quickly from a registered nurse. But my problem with that is there'd still be evidence that a slice happened via the blood. Per your description, there was absolutely nothing on your thumb. No evidence of a cut, no blood whatsoever, no scarring, no even like slightly raised edges that would indicate that it healed. It doesn't seem likely that it would heal so rapidly and in such a way that there would be absolutely no evidence. I mean, there should be at least some little speck of blood or something. This was my comment, and the author responded succinctly, "Yes, I felt it. Yes, I distinctly saw the red open wound line it created. Afterwards, it was completely smooth, unbroken skin. There just was no line, no anything at all, even when under pressure. Not even a hint of it." Continuing my thoughts, well yeah, that's just crazy. I do accept the notion that wounds that are extremely clean can heal rapidly, but not in a few seconds to such a perfect level. That doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it is the case, I don't know. And all the more important that you had many witnesses that saw it too. What did your dad think? And that concludes our case files for the night. If you did enjoy the video, I'll just throw out all the standard YouTube stuff, like, comment, share the video, it all helps. And if you'd like to subscribe, I upload Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. EST with new case files all the time. I'll see you there.